You will go to hell if you do any of these 12 things. The first thing God despises is murder. Life is a sacred gift. Imagine if taking a life was commonplace. Societies would crumble, and fear would dominate. The prohibition against murder isn't just about morality. It's about preserving the sanctity of life and maintaining harmony in the world. Picture a small village where a murder spree occurs. The community lives in constant fear, neighbors no longer trust each other, and the social fabric disintegrates. But there's a deeper twist. The murderer believes they are delivering divine justice. This misguided belief leads them down a path of darkness, showing how easily the sanctity of life can be corrupted by false righteousness. In the end, the village's tragedy teaches us that taking a life not only destroys the victim, but also shatters the soul of the murderer. The second thing God forbids is lying. Lies distort reality and create chaos. Picture a world where everyone lies. Trust would vanish, and relationships would break down. The truth is the bedrock of a stable society, and without it, everything falls apart. Consider the story of a politician who builds his career on lies. Each falsehood gains him more power, but eventually, the web of deceit unravels. His downfall is catastrophic, ruining not just his life but also the lives of those who believed in him. The twist? One of his biggest supporters turns out to be his own child, who now must face the consequences of their father's deception. The story highlights that lies not only hurt those around us, but also destroy the trust and bonds we hold most dear. God's third no is stealing. It's not just about taking what isn't yours. It's about disrupting the balance and creating distrust. Imagine a community where stealing is rampant. Trust erodes and society fractures. Maintaining harmony and trust is crucial for a healthy community. Now, imagine a young boy who steals food to feed his starving family. His actions are driven by desperation, but they also teach him the consequences of theft. One day, he steals from the wrong person and faces severe punishment, which ultimately separates him from his family. The twist? The person he stole from is someone who used to be a thief themselves, but changed their ways and became a successful, honest person. This encounter leads the boy to a crossroads: continue down a path of theft, or choose honesty despite the hardships. The story underscores the complex nature of stealing and the importance of maintaining trust and integrity. The fourth prohibition is adultery. More than a breach of trust, it violates the sacred bond of marriage. Adultery shatters this bond, causing pain and mistrust. Imagine a family torn apart by infidelity. The ripple effects are devastating, affecting not just the couple, but their children as well. Consider the story of a seemingly perfect marriage that crumbles when one partner has an affair. The betrayal leads to a bitter divorce, and the children are caught in the crossfire. The twist? The person having the affair was seeking solace from a deeply buried trauma, believing the affair would fill an emotional void. Instead, it leads to greater pain and a journey of self-discovery that forces them to confront their past and seek true healing. This narrative shows that adultery is not just a momentary lapse, but a destructive force that can have long-lasting effects on everyone involved. Idolatry is the fifth thing God condemns. Worshipping false gods, or anything that takes the place of God, leads people astray. Be it money, power, or fame, these idols divert our devotion from the divine. Imagine a life dedicated to wealth, only to find isolation and despair. The prohibition against idolatry is a call to keep our hearts and minds focused on the divine, avoiding earthly distractions. Picture a successful businessman who prioritizes wealth above all else. Despite his financial success, he feels an emptiness that material possessions can't fill. The twist? He meets a humble monk who lives with almost nothing yet radiates joy and peace. Their unlikely friendship teaches the businessman that true fulfillment comes from spiritual richness, not material wealth. This story emphasizes the emptiness of idolizing worldly gains and the profound satisfaction of a life devoted to higher principles. The sixth thing God says no to is coveting. Wanting what others have breeds envy and discontent. Picture someone constantly longing for their neighbor's success or possessions. This desire corrodes their happiness and peace. Coveting disrupts personal contentment and social harmony. Consider a woman who spends her life coveting her friend's seemingly perfect life. Her envy consumes her, leading to bitterness and resentment. The twist? She discovers that her friend's life is far from perfect, filled with hidden struggles and pain. This revelation forces her to reflect on her own life, realizing the blessings she overlooked due to her envy. The story teaches that coveting blinds us to our own gifts and creates unnecessary suffering. Dishonoring parents is another thing God forbids. Respecting our parents strengthens familial bonds and societal values. Imagine a society where children disrespect their elders. Family structures weaken and social values erode. Honoring parents is crucial for a strong, cohesive community. Picture a rebellious teenager who constantly disrespects his parents. His actions lead to a fractured family and a troubled youth. The twist? After a life-changing event, he learns about the sacrifices his parents made for him. This newfound understanding leads to a heartfelt reconciliation and a deeper appreciation for family bonds. This story highlights the importance of honoring our parents and the healing power of understanding and respect. God's eighth prohibition is bearing false witness. Spreading falsehoods about others damages reputations and trust. Imagine a world where false accusations are common. Chaos and mistrust would prevail. Upholding the truth is essential for justice and societal trust. Consider the tale of a woman falsely accused of a crime. Her life is turned upside down, and her reputation is destroyed. The twist? The accuser is someone she once helped in a time of need. This betrayal cuts deep, but the truth eventually comes to light, vindicating her and exposing the accuser's deceit. The story underscores the destructive power of false witness and the ultimate triumph of truth. Breaking the Sabbath is the ninth thing God forbids. The Sabbath is a day of rest and reflection. Imagine a life without rest. Constant work leads to burnout and unhappiness. Observing the Sabbath is about balance and mental well-being. Picture a workaholic who never takes a break, believing constant work is the key to success. His relentless pace leads to severe health issues and strained relationships. The twist? During a forced break due to illness, he discovers the value of rest and reflection. This pause transforms his life, bringing balance and renewed purpose. The story illustrates the necessity of rest and the wisdom in observing the Sabbath. Taking God's name in vain is the 10th prohibition. It's about respect and reverence. Imagine a culture where sacred names are used carelessly. Respect for the divine diminishes. This prohibition reminds us to hold the sacred with the utmost respect. Consider a community where divine names are used in trivial and disrespectful ways. Over time, the spiritual significance of these names erodes, leading to a loss of reverence. The twist: a child in the community, moved by a profound spiritual experience, begins to teach others the true meaning and respect for the divine. This renewal of reverence transforms the community, restoring their spiritual integrity. The story highlights the importance of respecting the sacred and the impact of reverence on spiritual life. Creating idols is another thing God forbids. It's similar to idolatry, but focuses on the physical act of making objects of worship. Imagine a society full of man-made idols. True spirituality gets lost in the clutter of false icons. The prohibition against creating idols emphasizes pure, undistracted worship. Picture an artist who gains fame for creating beautiful but spiritually empty idols. His success brings him wealth, but not fulfillment. The twist? He encounters a humble craftsman whose simple, heartfelt creations inspire true devotion. This meeting leads the artist to reevaluate his work, shifting his focus to creating art that genuinely honors the divine. The story illustrates the difference between empty creations and those that inspire true spiritual connection. God's 12th prohibition is injustice. Unfair treatment and discrimination corrupt society. Picture a world rife with injustice, social unrest, and hatred follow. Upholding justice is vital for peace and equality. Consider a judge who is known for his biased rulings. His actions lead to widespread discontent and unrest in his community. The twist? One of his biased rulings results in personal tragedy, forcing him to confront the consequences of his injustice. This experience transforms him into a champion for fairness and equality. The story emphasizes the far-reaching effects of injustice and the transformative power of personal accountability.